loud.
Right, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining for this session of chair yoga. I promise we're going to get into the hips this morning, one of my favorite places to get into, the hamstrings, a little bit of shoulder work as well, and we're going to practice with some balance also. So a little kind of a full spectrum class. We'll start seated. I was just saying earlier that now that we're in the month of September, I'm sure you're all beginning to notice the change of the season and the light. The sun is rising a little bit later, setting a little bit earlier. And this is just nature's way of preparing us for winter, right? We're starting to move into those seasons where we're going to be going really in, not just physically, but also kind of emotionally and spiritually. It's a time for kind of bringing our energy in and preparing for that longer haul through the winter months. So it's actually a beautiful feeling, right? We've had all the abundance and the activity of summer, right? We've really allowed ourselves to enjoy being outside and expressing ourselves. And now we begin to shift into a little bit more of an inward experience. So with that in mind, we're going to start breathing in a three-part breathing exercise. And I find that this three-part breathing really helps to draw myself into my center because we're focusing on the breath, and that breath helps to anchor us right into our bodies and right into the present moment. So let's take one hand to our bellies and one hand to the center of our chest. Just make sure that in your seat, you're seated slightly forward of the back of the chair so that your sit bones are just behind the lip of the seat, and that your feet, your ankles are directly below your knees, and that your knees are lining right up with your hips. They're not flaring out or knocking in towards one another. We want to create a nice 90-degree angle. Take a moment, lift all 10 toes off the floor and just ground through the balls of your feet and the heels. Nice stretch, spread those toesies open as much as you can. And then very slowly and gently, just let the toes draw back to the floor. And then press energetically into your feet. Feel that grounding sensation as if they're taking roots. Root down through your sit bones. In your mind's eye, just draw a line from your tailbone right up through the crown of the head. And as you do so, can you let your spine grow a little bit longer? Feel for the tops of your shoulders and relax them down and away from your ears. And maybe slide the back of the head back just a little bit so that your ears line up over your shoulders and your shoulders remain floating over your hips, nice and tall. Let's ease the eyes closed if you haven't already. And we're going to start breathing in and out through our nose. So let's take a nice deep and full breath in. And just trace that breath in your mind's eye as you drop it down and deep into your belly, maybe even into your pelvic floor, nice and low. And then slowly let that breath release. You'll feel the change in your body as your belly draws towards your spine, as your ribs contract, and the breath you can trace in your mind's eye, it exits out the nose. Again, nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel as if you're directing that breath down and into your belly, and your belly's expanding into the palm of your bottom hand. As you exhale, you'll feel the contraction as the breath presses out and releases out through the nose. As you breathe in, you're filling your lungs from top to bottom, and your diaphragm is dropping down so that the lungs can inflate. The belly gets nice and full. As you breathe out, the diaphragm lifts up and helps to squeeze the lungs empty of the air. It's a fun little anatomical fact there. Inhale as we breathe in. Expanding your breath in all directions. And exhale as we breathe out. Now we'll begin the 3-part breathing. So imagine your torso is divided into 3 parts: belly, midsection where the ribs are, and then upper section where the chest is. So on the first breath in, we're going to breathe just down and into the belly, and you're going to contain that breath right there. Just kind of hold it and pause with the fullness of the belly in expansion. And then you're going to exhale that breath out, squeezing the belly empty. Now we're going to breathe in again, down and into the belly, and this time draw the breath up through the ribs and hold there. So 2 parts of the torso are full, belly and ribs. And now exhale that out nice and slow. 3 parts now. Inhale, deepen into the belly. The breath rises up through the ribs and all the way up to the chest, up to your second hand. You're going to hold here. And release, nice and slow. Let's do that a couple more times at your own pace. Just breathing in deeply, filling the belly, the ribs, the chest, holding here. Nice and slow exhale, being aware of the contraction of the body as you breathe out. Once again, inhale, belly, ribs, chest, following that breath with your mind's eye, holding. Exhale, nice and slow release, letting it go. One last time, inhaling. Feel the belly expand into your palm. Feel the ribs widen side to side, front to back. Feel the chest lift into your hand. Hold. And let it go. Breathe it all the way out. Good. Release your hands to your thighs, palms facing up. Let your eyes open gently. Find an easy, steady breath here. Just nice and slow in and out through the nose. We're going to spread our palms forward and lift the arms up to shoulder height. Left hand is going to reach for right fingers and draw them all the way back with your right thumb extended out to the side. So from the side, it looks like this. I'm pulling my fingertips back towards me to get deep and into my wrist. And we're going to take one finger at a time. So starting with your pinky finger, draw that back as far as you can. Try not to let the other fingers curl in, but instead keep that palm open, fingers spread wide. Reach for your ring finger and pull it back as much as you can, spreading out all the other fingers. Middle finger, give it a good tug. Spread the palm open. Ooh, should feel good. Index finger, draw it back. Oh. And now, grab your thumb by wrapping your hand underneath you. You're going to spread the palm open, press the heel of the hand away, and really pull that thumb back towards you. I know for me, this is a joint that needs some TLC because I use a mouse all day, Monday through Friday. And my hand can feel that at the end of the week. Good. Give that hand a release and just shake your hand out gently, not harshly, but gently. And just feel the difference. Maybe there's a little warmth, a tingle in there. And we'll switch sides. Left hand comes out. Reach for the fingertips with the right hand and pull everything back towards you. Go as deeply as you can here, and don't forget to breathe. Notice how this side might feel different. Typically, our dominant hand is the one that really needs to stretch, but the other side could be equally in need. Spread your left thumb away from you. And let's grab that pinky finger, draw it back as you spread all other fingers away from it. Woo. Try to go for a little sensation here. Ring finger, pull it back, press the heel of the hand away. Your hand is in line with your shoulder, so we're doing a little shoulder loading as well. Reach under for that middle finger, pull it back, spread all the others open wide, away from one another. And then your index finger, pull it back. Keep pressing the heel of the hand away from you. And last one, reach under for your thumb. Draw it back towards you as you spread the palm open nice and wide. Maybe you might even hear a little pop if you're releasing some energy or some stiffness there. Beautiful, and let that go. Let's just shake it out nice and light. Good, and then we're gonna thread the hands together in front of the heart. So go ahead and interlace the hands all the way through and start to roll out the wrists in a figure 8. Back and forth, back and forth. Don't overthink it, just kind of let your mind go here, roll it out. If it doesn't look like what I'm doing, that's fine. Come up with your own variation. Switch direction, that might take a little mental pause, just see if you can do it. It might not flow as easily. Awesome. Good, and then we'll press the palm of the hands away from us. So your arms are still in line with the shoulders. You should feel a nice stretch on the back of the shoulders here. Try to relax your neck and the tops of the shoulders and really engage your arms. Press them to as straight as possible. Beautiful. And then lift your arms up and overhead so palms are facing the ceiling now. As you press the palms up, root down through your sit bones and lengthen your side waist. Those inner shoulders might want to creep up here, relax them down and away, and then pull those lower ribs in. Instead of letting them flare out or arching your back, pull them in, engage your core so that the ribs are drawing towards the tops of the hips, the bottom ribs. Beautiful. Let's take a little stretch off to the right. So the sit bones don't leave the seat. They stay evenly grounded. Feel your left rib cage opening up as you press your hands away. Relax your head here. Come back into your breath. Beautiful. Up and over. Off to the other side. Stretching out the right side. Keeping the arms active and pressing the heels of the hands away. We're even getting our wrists to flex here, so additional stretching out of that joint, really nice. Back to center, and then just a little side to side. So go at your own pace, kind of add a little movement here. Just helps to warm up the body, right? Feel your core working as you stretch off to the side. Feel your spine moving laterally from side to side. So nice. Good, and come back to center. Press your palms together and let them travel down so that the thumbs are in front of the heart. Now really push your palms together. You can see my elbows are lined up with one another. So my arms are pretty engaged here. I'm really pressing and feeling that. So we want that arm engagement here. And take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to turn your chin to the right, and you're going to slide your hands off to the left. So just a little movement like that. You can feel this in your shoulders and in your wrists, in your neck. As you inhale, we'll come back to center. Remind yourself you want to keep your thumbs at heart center. Exhale, chin to the left, arms slide to the right. Turning the chin. Pressing the palms together. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the other side, chin to the right as palms slide to the left, staying upright in your spine. Draw it back to center, keep that pressing of the palms, and then over to the other side, chin to the left, palms slide to the right. Can you feel this? And still breathe. Draw it back to center, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll release the hands down and just roll the shoulders out. Maybe give your wrists a couple of rolls as well. Letting that all go. One of my favorites. All right, hands come up one more time. Find that interlace and press the palms up towards the ceiling. And this time we're going to drop the left elbow and lift the right. So we're bringing the back of our head towards the inside of our right elbow. This is a big shoulder opener here. Do what you can. If you can't keep the clasp, you can release that left hand down and maybe just the right elbow reaches up behind you. You're opening up the chest and the shoulder joint here, getting a nice stretch in your tricep muscle. And then we're just simply going to take it up and over to the other side. That right elbow drops and the left elbow lifts. Breathe into this side. Can you press the back of your head into that inner elbow? Pay attention to your lower ribs. Make sure they're not flaring out, but draw them back and engage your core. And then just a little side to side, kind of threading your shoulders through, or I think of this like flossing. I did this the other night in my yoga class, but it's like flossing your shoulders, just getting some nice movement, trying to increase our mobility here. We're going to use our shoulders in a little bit, so nice way to just kind of wake them up. Woo. All right, when you feel like you've had enough flossing, we'll just release, bring the hands down, and place the palms onto your thighs. Check your alignment with your feet, ankles right underneath the knees. And now we're going to take cow and cat, but we're going to reverse the breath and the movement pattern. Why are we going to do this? We're going to do it to kind of break the pattern or the habitual pattern of the mind. So if you think of cow and cat, you think inhale into cow, exhale into cat, right? The body gets conditioned to that, the mind gets conditioned, and it's nice to break up those patterns every now and then. It's good yoga for the brain. So we're going to reverse it. We're going to start with the inhale, and we're going to inhale into cat pose. So I'll turn to the side. You can grab onto the kneecaps if you'd like. Take a breath in and tuck your chin towards your chest and roll yourself back. So you're hollowing out your belly. If you're holding on to your knees, maybe your arms are all the way straight. Then as you exhale, you're going to open up into your cow pose, lifting your chest, rolling your shoulders back, and maybe even looking up at the sky. So we'll move like that. Inhale as we sink back and round, opening up the vertebra in the back. And then exhaling as we extend the spine nice and long, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders down the back. And move on your own here. Inhaling, taking it back. Maybe you start to move back even further. Exhaling, lifting your chest, opening and broadening across the collarbones. Inhale, rounding back. Exhale, taking it forward, lifting your heart. And let's do one more. Inhale to round it back. And exhale to open the chest, extend the spine, take your gaze up, and release. Beautiful. Reposition yourself if you slid anywhere off the lip of your chair. That's where we would like to be right now. And take your right knee into your chest. So sit up nice and tall. I've got my fingers interlaced across the front of my shin. We're going to roll out that right ankle. So whatever direction comes naturally, take that first. Just allow any little pops or crackles to release here. Reverse the direction at any time you'd like to. Sit up nice and tall. Really squeeze your thigh in towards your chest. And then as we breathe in, we're going to do something similar that we did with the cow and cat. As we breathe in, we're going to round and bring our knee and our forehead to meet. So rounding on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to extend out. So you're going to press your right heel away from you and flex your right toes back toward you. Maybe you can do this without your hands. Maybe you need to support your thigh by lacing your fingers underneath. Either version is fine. Inhale, draw it back in, round. Maybe you point your toes on the inhale to stretch out the front of the ankle. And then on the exhale, you release and you press the heel away from you. Try to line it up with your hip, flexing the toes back. Let's do that again. Inhale, round in, point the toe down, chin to chest. Exhale, flex the foot away, press the toes back towards you. One more. Inhale as we round. And exhale as we flex and extend. Let's hold here. Try to keep that quadricep engaged. Breathe into it. You can grab onto the side of the chair if you'd like to, or relax the arms, or interlace, like I said, below the thigh. Feel the burn here, but keep the breath moving. Just stay in your centeredness and let that just assist you to be here. Now slowly lower the heel down, keeping the leg extended. Woo! All right, and once the heel lands, we're just gonna windshield wiper the ankle. So we're getting a little rotation here in the hip, in the thigh, in the ankle. And this may be easy, not so easy, just doing your best to kind of play with this motion. Awesome. Good. Now come to center. Now I would suggest maybe holding on to the side of the chair. We're going to pick up the foot and arc it out to the side, let the heel touch, and then arc it up and back. So going a little bit deeper into that outer hip. Hopefully you can feel this. You're also going to feel it in your quad, just building a little muscle strength here. Back and forth. The size of the arc is kind of up to you. Just do what feels right. It could be a small arc. It could be a big, generous one. Whatever feels good. I don't know about you guys, but I can feel my hip. All right, we're going to bring it back to center. And one more time, bring that knee into the chest. Give it a really good squeeze. Oh. And then just hold on with your right hand. So you're going to wrap your hand around your shin, right below your right kneecap. And then if you're not on the lip of the chair, scoot to the lip. And we're just going to take big circles of that knee. So take it out to the side and down and around. Going a little bit deeper into the hip joint. This should feel good. Maybe a little creaky if you're tight there. And we'll reverse direction. Sometimes that reversing can be a little more challenging. You can feel something different happening in that joint. Beautiful. Now take the knee. You're going to cross it over that left thigh. So the feet can be, the foot can be just relaxed here, or if you have the flexibility, maybe you can tuck your toes behind your left ankle. If that is the case, squeeze your thighs together. Either way, really give your thighs a good squeeze. Okay, so we have our leg foundation in place. We're going to bring our arms up to a T. Palms are going to face down. And we're going to rotate right from our belly center to the right. So take a little airplane twist here, and then reach for the back of your chair and let your left hand just hook outside of your right thigh. Take a full breath in as you look to the right. And as you exhale, take a deep twist, maybe turning your head and your gaze back behind you. Now press your left hand into your right thigh and your right thigh into your left hand. So you want your knees to kind of be right in center. They're not swiveling in any direction. They're right lined up in center. You're getting a good squeeze to your thighs. Try to engage them as you keep this twist. Take a nice breath in, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, you're going to turn your chin over to the left. So you're staying in the twist, but your chin is turning and you're looking over your left shoulder. Awesome. One more breath here. Exhale back to look over the right shoulder. Give it another good twist here. And then we'll release back to center. Keep your legs threaded together. Take your arms back and open to a T. Your right arm is going to come forward, palm facing up. And then your left is going to lay on top. So you're going to lay your elbows on top of one another, bend at the elbows, and maybe bring the backs of your hands together to meet. If you have the flexibility and you can wrap so that your palms meet, yay. That's not important, but if you can, great. If neither of these are good for you and you want to just hold on to your shoulders, keep your elbows lifted at shoulder height. Another lovely variation. We're coming into eagle pose, Garudasana. So this is a big shoulder and hip opener. Your joints are really getting a workout here. So the idea is to squeeze your arms and your legs as much as possible. And then as you press your forearms away from your face, so you want them not to be here, but away from you, you should feel a nice opening in your shoulders, behind you, the backs of the shoulders. So hugging into center. Option to take a breath in and lift those elbows up, maybe look up. And then on the exhale, you're gonna round and you're gonna pull your elbows towards your belly and relax the tops of the shoulders away from your ears. And again, like that, if you feel like it, inhale, lift up, take a little back bend, look up, keep squeezing arms and thighs. And then exhale, we're gonna pull in. Good, let's rise up and let's unwind. Woo! Let your arms just float and let your legs float. You can extend your legs, you can give them a little wiggle, but what you're gonna feel is that big rush of blood and energy after all that compression. Should feel really nice. All right, back to our foundation, starting in our seated position. We'll take our left knee into our chest and give it a good squeeze. Sit nice and tall. So thigh pulls into the ribs. Let's roll out the ankle. Just take it in whatever direction feels natural to begin with. Oh, and then the other side. I can never get enough of rolling out my wrists or ankles, but I'm a creaky thing, like the Tin Man that needs oil. Oh, it feels so good. Beautiful. All right, let's take our little rounding and extending sequence. So as we inhale, round in, forehead to knee, round your back. And as you exhale, you're going to extend that leg out, pressing the heel away from you, flexing the toes back. Maybe use your hands, grab onto the chair, or no hands at all. And then again, inhale, let's point the toe, stretch out the top of the ankle as you round in. And then as you exhale, really push through the heel, extend out, use your quadricep muscles and strengthen there. Again, inhale, round and pull in. Exhale, extend, lift up through the crown of the head, flex the foot. And then one more time, inhale to round and pull in. And exhale to extend. Hold here and breathe. Any variation with the hands, if you need an assist, please feel free to take that modification. Working on strengthening that quadricep muscle. One more breath. And then on the exhale, nice and slow, lower that heel all the way down to the floor. Windshield wiper. just the ankle. Notice how this hip feels and how this hip moves. Could be a little tighter, could be a little more willing, whatever it is, right? We're not judging or criticizing our body, we're just being in our body. You know, yoga is a practice of feeling. So we're feeling ourselves from the inside out. We're dropping in and we're really getting acquainted with our bodies, which is a beautiful thing. All right, back to center as before. Let's hold on to the side of the chair and then inhale to lift and arc out to the side. Exhale to take it back. And again, the size of your arc is up to you. You can progress, you can start small and bring it higher. You can stay in the same place. You know, maybe this side has a little more range of motion or maybe not. So just work with your body, whatever it's telling you. Pay attention and don't forget to breathe. There's an inhale and there's an exhale. And that pattern never, never, never stops. That's the beautiful gift of life and breath. All right. Woo, last time, let's bring it back. Draw the knee in one more time. Give it a good squeeze. And then holding on with just the left hand underneath the kneecap, let's make those circles out to the side. If you need to scoot forward onto the edge of the chair, as I had to right there, please do. You want to have the space available so you can really get into that hip joint. And reverse direction. I hope you're feeling a little bit warmer now. The body's responding to all the love and attention, movement. Everything's starting to oil up. The synovial fluid is moving around a little better. Awesome. All right, we're going to guide that knee to cross it over the right. And again, here, you may be able to tuck your toes behind your right calf. If that's possible, great, keep it. If not, that's fine. Just let the toes relax alongside of the right. And then give your hips and your thighs a really good squeeze. So we're kind of hugging into the midline. And remember, the knees are not going to move when we twist. They're not coming with you. They're not going in the other direction. They're going to stay right where they are in the center. Arms come out to a T. And then you're going to hug your belly in, and on an exhale, you're going to propeller yourself to the left. Grab onto the back of the chair with the left hand, right hand just hooks outside of that left thigh. Take a full breath in to gain some length in your spine. And as you breathe out, you're going to twist. So your left thigh and your right forearm are pressing into one another equally. The knees are not moving. You're squeezing your thighs. You're rotating your chest, your belly, and your shoulders, and maybe your chin to the left. Big breath in. On the exhale, turn your chin now to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Keep your lower part of the body exactly the same. Keep hugging your thighs in, big, big squeeze. And then inhale, look back over the left. On the exhale, return to center. Bring the arms out, the legs stay the same. This time with palms up, the left arm comes forward and the right arm rests on top. You're stacking your elbows. Bend at the elbows and maybe the palms come to meet. Maybe just the backs of the hands come to meet, or maybe you grab your shoulder heads. Any of those variations, just do your best to keep your elbows in line with your shoulders. Now press your forearms away from you. Give your arms and your legs a good squeeze. Tap into that sensation of your scapula on your back, drawing away from one another as you create some space right there in the upper back. Really, really nice. And maybe adding that little flow here as we inhale, we'll lift the elbows, looking up, arcing the back a bit. And as we exhale, we'll pull the elbows in towards the belly, tuck your chin towards your chest, and relax the tops of the shoulders when you land here. Again, inhale, lifting up, finding a hint of a back bend. And then exhaling as you draw in nice and deep. Inhale here as we rise, give a good squeeze to everything. And on the exhale, unwind and just feel that sensation, that rush. Woo, pretty sweet. All right, take your feet nice and wide here with the toes turned out. You want to stack your ankles and your knees. We're just going to, again, slide forward onto the edge of the chair. Drop your right forearm to your thigh and take a big stretch over to the right. Left arm up and overhead. So you're going to widen that right knee with the assist of that forearm. The knee may want to roll in. Try to roll it back and open. So you're getting a big stretch in your inner leg lines here. Breathe and then circle that top arm. Let your head go and just make big, generous circles. Oh, who else can feel this on their side? Awesome. Cactus the arm. Bring the hand to the back of the head. Maybe turn the chin, look up. And then gently rise up. Beautiful. Other side. Left forearm to left inner thigh. Right arm comes up and over. Stay grounded through both sit bones. Press that left forearm into the left inner thigh and knee and keep widening it open. Big circles. Let that right arm just drift into a nice big rotation. Oh, let your head and neck go. And then you're going to bring your arm to cactus. Take your palm to the back of your head. See if you can turn your chin up to the sky. Rooting down. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let's come on up. Oh, nice job. Hook your fingertips underneath your knees to just help walk the feet forward. And let's come up to stand. So we're going to position the chair in front of us. I'm going to use my chair this way with the back facing me, but you can have it the other way as well. And bring your hands about shoulder width distance apart to the back of your chair. Keep your feet underneath your hips, and we'll start to step back into downward facing dog. So walk your feet back, keeping them underneath your hips. You're just going to sink your chest down between your arms, and you're going to press your tailbone up and back. Feel your inner thighs here. See if you can roll them in towards one another and back towards the back of your mat. And let your chest, your shoulders, your spine, and your hamstrings all begin to open up here. Breathe. Try to be light in your grip, either with your feet or your hands. Breathe. Now, walk your feet in one step closer. You kind of want to stack yourself up so that I look here like an L shape. See if you can find something similar for yourself. And then we're going to ground into the left foot and just lift the right leg back. Again, creating an L shape. So the front of the right hip is actually facing down towards the mat. You're flexing your foot and you're pressing through that right heel. Again, try to be light with your grip so that those left toes aren't really gripping the mat too hard. And maybe you even free your fingertips up and you just kind of rest the heels of your hands onto the back of your chair and start to engage your front and back body. So you want to feel your core kind of turned on here. You want to feel your standing leg and your lifted leg both engaged. Variation of warrior 3 here, practicing balancing. You may want to try to release one hand, bring it to your heart. Maybe both hands, I don't know if I can do that. Anyway, the chair is there. Play with it. Woo. Both hands to the back of the mat. Let's lower that foot down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Walk yourself up, so lift your chest and walk your feet close in towards the back of the chair. How's that hamstring feel on that left side? All right, right leg, standing leg. We're gonna step that left foot back and we're gonna ground the heel down. So we're setting up for warrior one pose. So my left toes are angled up towards the upper corner of my mat. My right knee is bent and stacked right over my right ankle. I'm gonna bring my hands to my hips and invite that left hip to come a little bit more forward as I draw my right hip a little bit more back. So you can use the chair for support here, or if you begin to feel steady, go ahead and release both hands. And then root down strongly. So this left leg is in internal rotation. You want to feel the front of the hip rolling towards the top of the mat. Right hip is pulling back. Legs are firm and strong. Swim your arms back behind you. See if you can make a clasp here. If not, grab opposite elbows. With that clasp, draw your arms to as straight as possible, or just keep the elbows bent and see if you can lift your chest a little bit. Challenge your balance by looking up. Squeeze your shoulder blades on your back. Let your collarbones open up nice and wide. Stay steady in your legs. Beautiful. And release. Bring the hands to the back of the mat. You're going to step into your right foot. Bring your left foot off. Bending at the knee. Roll your left shoulder back. Roll your left thumb back. And see if you can catch the inside of your left foot. Now, this may be exactly where you land today. You may already be feeling a good stretch. See if you can line that left knee up with the right. From there, see if you can pull your heel in a little bit closer. If you want to move into dancer's pose, begin to kick your foot back into your hand and lean out over the back of your chair. You want to square your chest more towards the top of the mat. Any amount here. Pressing foot into hand. Feeling that left shoulder open up. Maybe you release the right hand for a minute, a second. Any amount to just play with balance. Really strong in your standing leg. Take a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to let that go. Whew. Shake it out. I hope you felt that. I know I did. Let's take a wide stance before we go to the other side. Ballerina the feet, so toes turned out, heels turned in. Take a wide enough stance so that when you bend your knees stack right over your ankles. You can hold on to the back of the chair for assist. Now let your tailbone drop down and stack your shoulders over your hips. You don't want to be here. You want to be here, and you want to invite those knees to open back, not roll in, but open back. Woo! Losing my balance. Tailbone gets nice and long. The heart lifts on the front side as the tailbone drops on the back side. Breathe into your goddess pose here. Let's cactus the arms and feel our power. Yes, spread your fingers nice and wide. Getting that good stretch into the hips and the inner legs. Beautiful. Let's inhale to straighten. Lift your arms up and overhead. Squeeze your inner thighs. And then exhale, we'll sink it down. One more to inhale and straighten. And exhale to sink it down. Hello, hips. Hello, thighs. Beautiful. Hands come to the hips. Press into the feet, straighten the legs, and then turn yourself back to the back of your chair. All right. I know we're getting close to time, but let's finish out this other side. So we're going to drop our right foot back. Let the heel angle down. Bend into the front knee for your warrior one on this side. So I do like to bring my hands to my hips so that I can invite on this side, the right hip to come forward a little bit more. Strongly press into the outer edge of your back foot and use that as kind of the anchor into the pose. That will allow you to deepen the bend into that front knee. Staying here or taking that bind back behind you. So can you do it the opposite way with the opposite thumb on top? It's going to feel a little funky and a little different, but again, it's good yoga for the brain, breaking our patterns. If you have the clasp, can you straighten the arms, lift the chest, and look up? Option also to grab opposite elbows. Maybe just keep your hands on your hips. You can even bring your arms overhead. Any variation. Do your best wherever you are, keeping your legs strong, your breath deep, and your gaze nice and steady wherever you are. Taking one more breath in. And then on the exhale, releasing those hands to the back of the mat, stepping into that front leg and lifting the right foot off the mat. We're going to go ahead and turn that right shoulder open, and as if you were hitchhiking, turn the right thumb open and grab the inside of your right foot. I'm just turning to the side so you can see me. So here we are. Draw your right knee in line with your left to begin with. This could be where you stay, feeling that stretch in the quadricep. If you want to go deeper, start kicking your foot back into your hand. And then at the same time, you're just going to tilt your torso forward. So we're balancing out, pressing foot into hand, leaning forward, maybe releasing the left hand forward as well. Dancer's pose. Wherever you are, appreciate your breath and your body, what you are doing in this very moment. It is beautiful. Slowly bring yourself out of it. Release the foot down. Let's step back to downward facing dog one more time. Stretch everything out. Shake your head, yes. And shake it, no. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Good, looking forward, lift your chest. And slowly walk back towards the back of your chair. And let's come to have a seat. Nice work, everybody. I hope that felt energizing. Now this time, we can go ahead and sit back into the chair. So I want you to relax a little bit more, but still maintain that 90 degrees with the ankles and the knees. Allow your feet to rest on the floor. And we'll just turn the palms up to face the sky. So thumbs are relaxed and out. And go ahead and close your eyes here. And just begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And give yourself a moment to just kind of scan your body from top to bottom. Is there an overall shift in how you feel? Can you notice maybe a change in your attitude or the temperature of your body? Perhaps there's a feeling of flow. Things are actually moving, there's nothing stuck. Just tap into what you can feel. And then I'll invite you to bring to mind one thing that you are grateful for. It could be a thing, a place, a person, an activity, a furry friend, whatever it is. I want you to really contemplate that and let that feeling of gratitude just flood your body from the inside out. Make it feel like rays of sunshine warming you up, bringing you joy. Just letting your thoughts rest with that. Perhaps a slight smile comes to your face, even an internal smile. And let's try to bring that feeling, that sensation with us through the rest of our day today. They say that smiling is contagious. I believe that that feeling of gratitude is also contagious. So as you carry it around, you'll be sharing it with others and you'll be spreading that beautiful joy. Let's take our hands to our heart center, pressing the thumbs close to the heart. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And thank yourself for showing up today. So important that we make the time and the space for our self-care, for this type of community. We thank our hostess for bringing us together today. And as always, it was my honor to guide you and lead you through this practice. Take your thumbs to your third eye center and let's bow to one another as we say, Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope that added a little sunshine to your day. See you again.